U.S. Federal Reserve officials recently made headlines for discussing XRP's potential use. The potential use of Ripplet for payment processing was discussed by David Antifalto, a senior vice president at the St. Louis branch of the Federal Reserve. It is evident that Ripplet is reliant on XRP to facilitate these transactions. According to David Antifalto, the Federal Reserve has the power to using a third party like as Ripple to handle payment processing. If this occurs, XRP's value has the potential to skyrocket, perhaps reaching $10,000. Keep in mind that this isn't the first time the Federal Reserve has acknowledged this trend in a formal statement. It was either a year, a few weeks, or even a month ago. With XRP and XLM, their Fed's blockchain component might be enhanced. Due to its innovative approaches to improving cross-border payments and its open-source technology for financial transactions, the payment service Ripple is currently garnering a great deal of attention. To improve their payment processes, the Fed is now utilizing Ripple's technology. One major factor that could cause XRP's value to skyrocket is the Now payment service. Unfathomable heights, the ultimate destination for all things XRP. Press the like, subscribe, and notifications buttons to become a member of our group before we begin. Furthermore, we will be awarding a substantial amount of XRP upon reaching 60,000 followers. There are just 3 easy steps to enter. Complete all of them, and then post a remark. Ensure your spot by adding the hashtag to your comment. The Federal Reserve website officially announced Ripple's relationship with the bank, and today we'll discuss that partnership. The first section of the research, titled The Faster Payment Task Force Approach, emphasizes the significance of Ripple on the U.S. path to faster payments. Figuring out payment methods via the Federal Reserve, the article claims that Ripple is the sole platform that allows users to send money to other nations in real time. These transfers often take 2 to 4 days and are not easy to monitor or comprehend. Ripple alters this by facilitating instantaneous settlement of fees and payments, and providing full visibility into their status. Then we find out that Ripple and the U.S. Reserve have bolstered its engagement with money from within the U.S. Quite a bit of data that viewers may rewind and read lend credence to this. A significant portion of the research delves into the ways in which Ripple collaborates with monetary authorities such as the Federal Reserve, the Bank of England, and the Saudi Arabian Monetary Authority to enhance the U.S. payment system. As part of its mission to provide free global real-time settlement infrastructure, Ripple Labs has accomplished a great deal in the most fundamental aspects of payment processing. Current methods of transmitting funds will be superseded by Ripple's decentralized peer-to-peer settlement system, which the Federal Reserve has chosen to employ. References the likelihood of this occurring. The Federal Reserve discussed potential digital U.S. initiatives on Fox News a year ago, with frequent usage of the Ripple emblem. One more operating in the shadows partner that Ripple has joined is the Federal Reserve Board, followed by the Bank of International Settlements (BSE), the International Monetary Fund (IMF), and the Federal Reserve Board, manifestations of their enthusiasm for Ripple's technology. It becomes apparent that the Bank of International Settlements (BIS) controls a significant portion of the world's currency, as one delves more into the intriguing realm of global banking. It is significant that Ripple has entered this field. It cites Jess Chan, a senior council member, and comes from the Department of the Interior. Those interested in the finer points say that Jessica, a former deputy general counsel of Ripple, is in charge of this. There's a lot to digest and it all makes sense, but that's only the first part. Many of you may be surprised by what I'm about to reveal. Not long ago, the Fed banks may incur losses due to increasing interest rates and real estate market pressures. Rather, a few partners have been discussing this since early March, which is rather intriguing. Additionally, XRP appears to be used by the EU and BRICS. In fact, XRP has been officially announced as the foundation for the new digital euro by the European Union. One thing that the XRP blockchain is utilized to facilitate the exchange of financial assets. A prominent analyst predicts that XRP's value will surge to $500.50 in the near future and might perhaps reach $10,000 as news spreads globally. This assertion is supported by other stories. One of the founders of Ripple, Arthur Brutto, supposedly came up with the notion as, "the film is shown to us." Now that Ripple is out of the SEC's litigation, XRP's story is clearly evolving. The BRICS nations have chosen to collaborate with Ripple in order to construct a digital currency for the central bank using the XRP platform. Recent reports indicate that this digital money backed by BRICS issued by central banks is already having a significant impact on global finance, because we will investigate Ripple's extensive network in greater depth throughout all BRICS nations. First stop, Brazil. Site of a historic event. With Ripple's assistance, the nation launched a groundbreaking crypto on-demand liquidity service. When completed, this initiative advanced the country's financial technology landscape significantly. After this one, we'll be visiting all we can think about is Russia. It's obvious that President Putin is looking to wean Russia off of the petrodollar and the US dollar. The reason behind this is that Ripple Labs' XRP technology has clearly replaced SWIFT, and Russia was not allowed to use SWIFT's payment mechanism. Creating a digital currency for the Russian Central Bank, or CBDC, is the end goal. This deed violates the FAST ban, and it also uses the decentralized nature of the XRP ledger to its advantage. The spotlight has shifted to India, but this does not rule out Russia's continued participation in global finance. Ripple is in charge of two major projects. One of them is India's massive digital rupee initiative. Pivotal to this endeavor is the technology developed by Ripple Labs, a giant leap for India's attempts to establish a globe CBDC. But that's not all there is to it. China is now involved, collaborating with Ripple to enter the realm of state-issued digital currency. That Ripple is gaining traction in the financial sector is evident from this. The situation is identical in Africa. An analysis of the African blockchain in 2022 reveals that CBDCs are gaining traction on the XRP. More than 12 African nations reportedly employ Ripple and XRP for payment processing, including South Africa. It is clear that the ledger is gaining importance in Africa's banking system from its widespread adoption. The BRICS group recently conducted a study that ranked XRP among the top digital assets for payment services. Using BRICS, additional evidence that XRP is a dominant cryptocurrency. In light of recent developments, many have predicted that XRP's value could reach $500 soon. One of the forecasts that piqued our interest was this one. An intriguing source, ChatGPT, an established AI bot, was uncovered. If this AI is correct, then by 2024 the value of XRP, Ripple, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Cardano will have increased by a whopping 100,000%. After considering what Ripple co-founder Arthur Brado has indicated, this XRP pricing shouldn't be shocking. XRP's co-founder sees $10,000 as the cryptocurrency's rightful price. Additionally, Mela discusses ways